Craig,
Yeah, ma'am.
open communication, fidelity, and tolerance, which of these elements do you think would make for a successful relationship?
Well, to me, they're all equally important, be it marriage, a business partnership, or friendship. But they don't matter if the people in the relationship don't periodically look back to assess how well they've scored on all these elements.
That's very true, and that's an oversight we at Lamata strive never to be guilty of.
Sure.
So as this episode of the show brings season 8 to an end, we take a look back over the season to keep track on how far we've come and also take notes on how better to serve you. I am Kate Harmony.
And I'm Obafemi Craig. First, we'll take the news highlights. Welcome and thanks for joining us on the news highlight on Lamata FR. The Okukumaiko to Marina Blue Line Rail project will be accorded priority by the Lagos State Government, Governor Akinwumi Ambode has assured. The governor, who paid his first official visit to the rail project at Mile 2 station, said the rail project was one that must be funded and urged the contractor handling the construction, China's Civil Engineering Construction Corporation Limited, CCECC, to speed up the work. Governor Ambode said his vision for the project was to see train services between Mile 2 and Marina, a distance of about 12.5 kilometers, in the next 12 months.
On the rail project, like he has said, we are going to mobilize immediately and see that what has been done between Mile 2 and the National Theatre is continued up to Marina. And within the next 12 months, we should be able to use whatever it is that has been done from Mile 2 to Marina.
While briefing the governor, Managing Director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, informed that the 4 of the 13 stations designed to service the 27-kilometer railroad had been completed, adding that construction activities were on to take the project across the lagoon to berth at the marina. He said the rail project will improve transportation in Lagos, change the people's lifestyle, reduce congestion on the road, and improve the state's economy. Lagos State Governor Mr. Akinwumi Ambode has enjoined Lagosians to embrace tree planting as a way of life in order to restore the dignity of the earth. He said Lagosians must desist from indiscriminate felling of trees and admonished that for every tree that must be removed, at least 5 must be planted. The governor spoke to members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, at Iyano-Ipaja during this year's tree planting exercise. Represented by the Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, said tree planting has become the cheapest and simplest option in view of the effect of climate change, particularly the depletion of the rainforest. He said the theme for this year's Tree Planting Day, Tree, the Lungs of the Earth, underscored the importance of trees in sustaining human life through the purification of the air that we breathe in.
The theme of this year, Tree Planting Day, Tree, the Lungs of the Earth, clearly underscores the importance of the trees in sustaining human life through the purification of the air that we breathe in.
Present at the event were branch chairmen of the NURTW around Alimosho local government. That ends the news highlights.
Basically, what Lamata does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
Lamata, keeping Lagos moving.
This episode is the last of the season, Season 8, and as we brace up to maintain our tradition of excellence in keeping Lagos moving, it's important we review the milestones covered in this one.
And we started the season on a note of evolution. We changed our logo, and we also changed our motto.
It was Think Transport, and now Keeping Lagos Moving. And it wasn't a change for change's sake, it was a change for the better.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the better.
The new logo has 4 main features: the wheel, Lagos State crest, the blue color, and Lamata, which now comes out very bold.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata.
A change for the better is only as good as it can be sustained and improved upon. And this won't happen without the law. This season, we spoke with Abiola Oseni, Corporate Legal Secretary, Lamata,
to discuss the laws put in place by Lamata as deterrent measures against those who violate these laws meant to protect transport infrastructure and the bus rapid transit BRT operations.
Well, the BRT Regulation 2007, like it's called, is the law that speaks to the BRT solely.
Okay.
It was drafted, crafted, basically, just to take care of BRT in Lagos State, as in bus rapid transit.
Okay.
Right now, we have it working just for the BRT from mile 12 to CMS.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's going to serve other BRTs as BRTs unfold in other parts of Lagos State. It's a new dawn in Lagos, like we've rightly said, and I just think people should get ready. If you do the crime, you do the term, definitely.
Wow.
Right now, it's not going to be business as usual. We're going to be stiffer, we're going to be stricter.
With the law firmly in place, Lamata is on course with a plan to establish an optimized transport system for Lagos. The technical advisor, Transport Planning, Lamata, Dr. Frederick Oladende, brought us to speed on the execution of the project.
Optimized transport in the context of Lagos means enhancing, we want a transport system that enhances the economy of Lagos State. And by that, I mean that we want to see people spend less time in traffic and more time doing something more productive.
Okay.
We are planning to commence ITS from next year. And ITS is large and it's going to be rolled out in phases. So for example, when we roll out the new BRT from Ikorodu to mile 12, obviously we would roll out the passenger information system that would enable people to know when the next bus is coming. So it's going to be a gradual phase. The first one will roll out next year.
The vision to optimize transport in Lagos is a long-term one. But Lamata came a long way under Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola, the immediate past governor of Lagos State. And Engineer Gbenga Dairo, Director Public Transport Lamata, reviewed accomplishments achieved on the Lagos Rail project.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best.
I left here, the track is advancing from Orile Gomo area, from mile 2 area. As you know, we're at National Theatre Station.
Yeah.
Then it runs through the station here, and to right behind you, it heads towards Ijora. from where it connects to the banks of the lagoon near Eco Bridge. It runs a bit parallel to Eco Bridge and then descends into Marina. And at Marina again, it goes on towards the viaduct at Marina, and then snakes back out again onto a plant station also at CMS in Marina. Okay. You probably will need a diagram or a plan to understand or appreciate what I've described precisely.
Then the electrical multiple units, the EMU trains, are planned for use on this project.
Absolutely.
But two things come to fore: electricity to power the system and security. How does the government plan to attack this or achieve this?
Well, as far as power supply is concerned, I think the prudent thing for us to do, which the government is doing, is to prepare a dedicated power plant for this project. Okay. And that will have enough capacity to operate and run the project from start to finish. Okay. Because as you know, relying on the public grid will be extremely risky for us. And steps are being taken. To know. Steps are being taken to ensure we do have that dedicated power plant. As far as security is concerned, I think security is an issue that affects the whole of the state, and not just this project on its own. I think we are mindful of the fact that the state government has devoted a lot of resources to ensuring that the state is secure. And in the same spirit, particular emphasis is placed on this particular project. So it's our own intention to have, or the state's intention, to have a dedicated security team that will look after the affairs of the station. Okay. We will monitor those who are entering into it and those who are exiting from it. We are providing fences along the corridors where there's obvious interaction with members of the public to prevent people from getting into the system. It's a closed system, which means we need to monitor and ensure that those who enter into it have the right authority and permission to do so.
Engineer Gbenga Dairo didn't stop there. He also walked us through the phenomenal success achieved through the Bucks Rapid Transit BRT under the administration of Babatunde Raji Fashola.
The BRT project, which we launched in 2008, also served as a demonstration of the possibilities of mass transit public transportation, so that people may begin to warm up to the idea of such systems as credible alternatives to wanting to aspire to own a car and drive a car in the city of Lagos. What makes BRT an important system first and foremost is the fact that it's a cost-effective public transport system. Any system that can move up to 200,000 passengers per day at the cost at which we implemented it, being a bus system, I think is one worth looking into. That's a huge staying power. The fact that it's also an effective system, one, as I said in my discussion with you earlier, that it offers very, very great time advantages to those who use it, makes it a very, very effective system too. And compared to other public transport systems in Lagos, the fare for using the BRT is comparable, and in certain instances even cheaper, and that makes it extremely attractive as well.
I will just implore our viewers to still expect the gains of democracy, because under the past immediate governor, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, the infrastructure in this state has experienced a lot of upgrade, and I have no doubt that our new governor, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, will build on that, because the plan is that in few years to come, we want Lagos State to be one of the best cities anybody who wants to live in the world, being a mega city as it is right now.
But the great strides made under the Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration have continued with Governor Akinwumi Ambode's tenure, with the recent seeding of the Nigerian Railway Corporation Corridor Gateway for the Red Line.
Well, this action has actually been long overdue. We started this process as far back as 2007, and the reason being that we have realized from a very long time that we need a rail mass transit, urban rail mass transit, to move people between Lagos Island and then to the mainland. And majorly, when there is an existing corridor, that we can share that corridor so that we can even start with that. Because the solution to public transport is to meet the needs of today and also to anticipate and prepare for the growth that was going to come. And quickly we recognize that the right of way that the federal government has, that is to Edo to Agbado, has not been totally fully utilized, and we can use some of that to be moving people from Agbado to Edo and then build a rail connection from Edo to Lagos Island. Economically, number one, it will reduce the cost of traveling. So that's number one. Then number two, I've also spoken about the reduction in travel time.
Exactly.
Then number three is the fact that a train system, when it works very well and efficiently, you now don't have to leave your house. If you want to take a train at 7:30 and your house is maybe 15 minutes to the train station, then you don't have to leave your house at 4 o'clock. You leave your house at 7:15 and get the train at 7:30.
Right.
And then the train will take you
to your destination.
So you've spent time with your family, you probably had breakfast at home, you've taken care of the children, you've dressed them up, you've checked their homework, those are the part of values that have been missing.
The seeding of the railway corridor for the Red Line only raised the expectations of Lagosians for this new administration. We spoke with Mr. Francis Ehigwese, President, Transport Society of Nigeria, about the transport agenda for Governor Ambode's administration to keep Lagos moving.
The new administration should continue with the policies of his predecessor. The policies, the programs, except where a policy or a regulation will be better if it's modified. Now, I also want to say this administration must complete the rail project. Let there be immediately, like I want to say, let the federal government declare a state of emergency on road transportation.
Of course, the transport agenda requires your participation. That's why this season we discussed your role in safeguarding public infrastructure.
Lagos government has spent huge resources in providing transport infrastructure for the convenience of everybody. Either you use public transport or you drive your own vehicle. We all have a responsibility to ensure that this infrastructure is safeguarded all the time. Now, if you see anyone trying to damage your commonwealth, the next thing to do is for you to pick up your phone and make that call and report. If you cannot make the call, you can send us a mail reporting what has happened. If all of us are alive to our responsibility and ensure that this infrastructure is kept in good condition all the time, government will spend less on repairing transport infrastructure and deploy such resources to other sectors of the economy for the betterment of the living standard of the people. So, we all have a responsibility to safeguard this infrastructure. And as we do so, I know that Lagos will be better for all of us.
But it's not only public infrastructure you are supposed to safeguard as a road user in Lagos. Your life is equally important as we discussed your safety in using the newly upgraded Mile 12 to Ikorodu Road Highway.
The overhead bridge itself is just to ensure that you don't endanger your life by deciding to cross at grade level. Where you see all this motor, the way then they drive.
The way then they speed itself,
the way then they drive. They not send you. If you send yourself, you send your family. torí Ọlọ́run la fi ń bẹ̀ yín, Ọlọ́run la fi ń bẹ̀ yín. Bíríìjì tí wọ́n ní kẹ́gùn ní kí ẹ gùn. Lóòótọ́ ó lè wà slow kó jẹ́ pé ẹ máa gun steps o. But all the same, if you climb it, you will feel safer inside of yourself.
And the season wrapped with the Managing Director of Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, sharing the economic benefits of the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Program.
Lagos mega city, as in quote, as we've been calling it, is the only mega city in the world that doesn't have a rail mass transit, and that is why we have initiated plan to come up with various rail lines in order to make the city efficient, effective, and make it to assist growth. And as a result, rail transportation is key to the growth of making the city a smart city, ultimately.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best.
Your messages came in during the week, as usual. Some were full of praise, urging us to keep up the good work. Some were tough, demanding we do more. But without exception, all were inspiring. Here is one of them. Coming from Ajowele Abayomi Bobo, the roads in some communities are terrible. The state government should supervise the projects most of these local government officers claim to be executing or have been executed. Well, Abayomi, those who should attend to this complaint are actually watching the program. But rest assured that appropriate actions will be taken. If you have sent in messages before, kindly send more. And if you haven't, here is your chance to send your questions, comments, and remarks to any of the following.
Thank you for the pleasure of your support for Lamata's work. As we move on to the next season, we guarantee that in all we do, your welfare and comfort on Lagos roads remain our focus. Like Henry Ford said, my best friend is the one who brings out the best in me. And that's what you do to us every single day. I am Kate Harmony.
I am Obafemi Craig. Lamata.
Keeping Lagos moving.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian